Well, we live in very tumultuous times, and I'm going to try to do some good faith responses to Maryland, but holy cow, this stuff is really getting really sick and stupid. Granted, I'm Hispanic, I'm a little biased here, but I'm not South American, but still, this is like, you gotta be kidding me. But before we listen to Maryland and her fans being extreme racists, while helping BLM and being very pro gay, by the way, let's deal with the major political topic of the time, which is the Mamdani victory, which is sending the right wing into a very weird civil war spiral. I don't know what to make of it. And when I plug the channel memberships and supporting the channel, believe you me, guys, I'm not exaggerating. I have a lot of secrets on these guys, and it's really just fascinating how many secrets have been kept hidden for so long, and who's doing all the yelling and screaming, because like it don't add up. So I'll deal firstly, and it's tragic. This is a dark-skinned Indian immigrant, Dinesh D'Souza, who was a prominent member of the conservative movement for decades. And his usual thing is that Americans are the greatest thing and most beautiful and very optimistic. Oh my God, Trump pardoned me for committing a crime, which he did commit. So this is an actual outright criminal trying to moralize about politics and corruption. But here we are. So he's attacking Candace Owens, and listen, Candace Owens is many things. She's not anti-Semitic. However, she is very extreme in her criticisms. I think she goes way too far. Candace is a black Christian, very proud of being a Catholic. I think a little too proud. So I admit, this is very on edge. This is very on edge. She is talking about real things. It's a very tricky subject. I think she should handle it more carefully. That's me. But there is evidence of this, which I discovered, and I was shocked too. But you gotta understand these things in context. You gotta understand these things in context. So Candace writes, the Bolsheviks laundered their names, published books asserting their families as the victims, and installed themselves at the head of Christian churches in America. American Zionists better wake up fast. Alrighty then. And Dinesh, I think this is actually appropriate for the most part. At this point, anyone who follows this freak show is doing it for the entertainment. It's not a political commentary. It's midget bowling. Hard to watch, but hard to look away from because there's a midget flying down the aisle, headed for the pins. More tomorrow. Tune in. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. What's hilarious is that Dinesh, the same Dinesh, is complaining about this unparalleled rise in white supremacy and white racism that he was a part of and helped by over and over again demonizing black people. Not just here or there. After the early 90s, that just became his full-time job, finding statistic after statistic to show that black people were really quite evil. Although he did have some praise for a few black leaders like, Louis Farrakhan. No, I'm not joking. Not joking. Now, I did not read this for myself, so I got to be careful. But in apparently a paperback edition of one of his books, he's praising the Nation of Islam. But there you go. His more regular thing is helping white fascism as long as it targets the right people, Hispanics and blacks. But now apparently the fascists are getting very racist all around, and he's upset. And his solution is blame everything on Tucker and Nick Fuentes. I'm not going to stick up for Nick Fuentes, but Tucker's a different beat, but not for Dinesh. So he's claiming in another tweet, Tucker's on board of this magazine. It's been around quite a while with a few readers and no influence. These creeps are trying to recast MAGA and push JD in a bigoted anti-Semitic direction. So what's the problem with JD? No, see, nothing's wrong. He has an Indian wife. Dinesh is Indian. But now the right-wing boys are getting mad at him, too, for having an Indian wife. So Dinesh is all puzzled. I don't understand. These white fascists became racist against my people.
Ironic. Now the race.
No, I'm crying now. I'm crying, Anakin. Well, maybe don't support white fascist racists next time. But it's like too late. And that brings us to Maryland. So I don't even know where to begin. So first, Maryland works with Nazis. Yep, complete outright Nazis. And then it's like, I'll have you know, I'm very BLM, I'm very pro-gays. Even though Knife Order is on the record that the gays and the trans are, well, the enemies. And Knife Order, good or bad, is going to die soon. He's got a lot of medical issues, so he's going to die soon. So I guess Maryland's going to forget she was once allied with Nazis and try to revise that history. But no. Things are not things are not moving fast enough for her. So, and again, to be fair, this is one of her fans. It's not her. But I am like, what are we doing here? And let me give the background for the confused people. So, Marilyn is doing these denunciations of Reese. Reese has a son, Hawks, and she's thinking of moving to Ecuador. And the reaction is this: hold the flippin' phone. I can't believe she is taking her son to Ecuador. The Canadian government website. Violent crime is a significant concern throughout Ecuador. Drug trafficking, transnational organized crime, and street gang activity is prevalent. Emphasis is mine. Violent incidents include murders, armed robberies, kidnappings, extortion, home invasions, and carjackings. And the advisory only goes downhill from there. So your response to possibly a white woman with her white son going to Ecuador is, oh my God, those Ecuadorians are so violent. What'll happen to Hawks? The gangs and the violence. Right. Even though Canada and America has been plagued with school shootings, tons of gangs there too. But magics. It's the Ecuadorians. Oh my God. And don't be like, well, Marilyn lives for comments. No. She does not. She blocks people. She erases comments. She's not a free speech advocate. So apparently she thought, that's okay. So we're insinuating that Reese is trying to put Hux in an Ecuadorian gang, become a big time white Hispanic carjacker. Nope, that's not racist. Oh, wait, it is racist. Extremely racist. And the racism just continues. This isn't the only comment. There were vested armed guards at our gated hotel in Guayaquil. Don't think I'd move to Ecuador, especially with my kid. Okay. Alrighty then. So that's Maryland. Like, yeah, let's just fill the comment section with racist messages. Mm-hmm. Mind you, none of these are specialists. None of these are educated people who have studied Ecuador. And again, I'm a little biased, my own ethnic background. I've met people from Ecuador, guys. They are not the stereotype at all. They're gang members into the carjackings and kidnappings. Not the Ecuadorians I've interacted with. Granted, I've interacted with educated Ecuadorians, which you'd never know that Ecuador does have entire classes of highly educated people because, carjackings. I don't know. What are we doing here? But Maryland, I went to a BLM protest. I'm very pro-gays. And I like Nazis. And now we're just going to be very pro-racist on our channel. Right. But we are morally superior to Reese and her grift. I mean, you can say many things about Reese, but she's not a racist. At all. Good or bad. That's never been a credible accusation against her. With Marilyn and Susie, Suze, the German name woman? Yes, credible accusations of supporting racism. But hey, we're exposing Reese. So there we go. That's how we go from conservative supporting fascism, liberal pro-gays supporting racists. There we go. And then there's the part. I can't believe there's so many racist Nazis in America now. Well, maybe stop helping them and stop promoting them. Then there would be less racist Nazis. Oh, no. See, my racist Nazi hates Reese. I hate Reese. He's a good guy. Well, there we go. That's how we got there. Say, are they racist Nazis? I mean, he's Trump. I like him. I like the way he talks. He's going to get rid of the bad immigrants, not the good immigrants like Indians. We're going to keep those guys. But don't worry, we're going to get racist against them later. But we'll deal with the Mexicanos first, and then the Indianos. We'll deal with India next. First Mexico, then India. And I'll give these guys credit. At least the comment section was like, "Or is she going to Mexico? Is she going to Mexico?" At least they got Ecuador correct as a country. That's about the only thing they got.
They're going to be politically homeless. And the funny part is, you've always been politically homeless. They never liked you, Vivek. They never liked you, Dinesh. They have told you time and time again, you're not like us. You're not one of us.